Sweet dreams really do start with beautiful makes, and today I'm sewing up the Mackenzie Sleep Set in a soft and elegant satin Charmeuse fabric from Thready Made. This duo is a free sewing pattern featuring a relaxed tank and shorts, simple, stylish, and oh so satisfying to sew. I made my toile in this playful summer print quilting cotton pulled right from my stash, perfect for those carefree, cozy nights. And today's version steps up the luxury with a material that feels like a dream against the skin. I have finished both versions with lace binding and added adjustable strap hardware for that extra polished, ready-to-wear feel. I've linked all those supplies for you in the description below. Whether you're winding down at night or easing into your morning, feeling good in what you wear to bed really does make a difference. Let's dive in. Place your front and back bodice pieces right sides together and pin the side seams. Sew these seams with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, finish the raw edges together and press them toward the back of the garment. We're going to hem the entire top edge of the front and back pieces with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. At the bottom of the V on the front piece, I'm going to snip into the seam allowance, snipping into that material by 1/2 inch. This will allow that material at the bottom of the V to separate so you can get a clean hem on both sides. For this step, I'm going to be sewing a rolled hem using a 6mm spiral hem foot. This will cause the raw edge to fold under, creating a 1/4 inch rolled hem. Now along the entire top edge of the bodice, I'm going to apply lace, tucking the lace binding just behind the top of the garment, tucking that behind by about 1/8 inch, and then we'll top stitch in place, edge stitching along the finished edge of the bodice all the way around. For my strap, I'll fold it right sides together and pin the long edge. Sew the long edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then we can turn the strap right side out using your preferred turning tool. I'm using a safety pin. And give that tie a press. Then we'll attach our slider piece. The bottom 6 inches of this tie piece will be the section of the tie that attaches the front to the back. So we're going to cut off the bottom 6 inches. And to this shorter piece, I'll attach my ring. I've marked the center of my back bodice. Now I'm going to measure 3 inches away from the center, and this will be where I attach that back tie piece. With that tie piece folded in half so that the ring is at the top, I'll fold the raw edges to the wrong side. And I'll place that folded material, which is the wrong side, onto the wrong side of the back bodice at the marking. And pin in place. Then I'll top stitch to secure that back tie in place, right in line with my original lace stitching. Then for our tie piece that attaches to the front bodice, I'm going to fold one short edge to the right side, making sure that the right side of the slider is also facing me. And I'll place that folded material behind the front bodice peak. Once again, lining that up in place so that when I sew on top of the original stitches, I'm catching that folded edge, pin in place. And sew on top of the original lace stitching to catch that tie. To finish off the tie piece, bring your front tie to the back loop and lace it through the loop from the front to the back. Then lace that short end through the underside of the slider, lacing it through the back side from the top and out the bottom. Then I'll tuck that short end to the wrong side and sew it to the front tie piece from that wrong side. Now that the adjustable straps are complete, we can hem the blouse. The hem allowance for the bottom of the garment is 1/2 inch. I'm going to use my spiral hem foot to create that same 1/4 inch rolled hem all along the bottom edge. Then give everything a good press. Now the top is complete, let's move on to the shorts. Place your front and back short pieces right sides together and pin the side seam and the inseam. Sew both seams with a 1/2 inch seam allowance and finish the raw edges together, then press the seams toward the back. I've gone ahead and hemmed the bottom of this shorts piece, creating a rolled hem from the 1/2 inch seam allowance in the same way as we did for the bottom of the bodice. Now I'll apply the lace along the bottom of the shorts, folding back one short edge of the lace, and placing that underneath the finished edge, allowing the finished edge to overlap the lace by about 1/8 inch, and top stitch in place all the way around. Trim off the excess lace. Repeat all of these steps to create your other leg piece. Turn one set inside out. Place the set that's right side out inside the opposite set. Align the crotch curve and pin in place. Sew the crotch curve with a 1/2 inch seam allowance and finish the raw edges. I've gone ahead and finished the raw edges of the shorts all the way around the top edge. And I've pressed the top edge to the wrong side all the way around by the top casing allowance of 2¼ inches. Now I'm going to edge stitch on top of my finishing stitches all the way around to form a casing, leaving a gap of about 1½ inches to insert the elastic. For these shorts, I'm using 2-inch wide elastic. I'm going to secure one short end of the elastic and lace it through the gap in my stitches. Then I'll overlap the short ends of the elastic by about 3/8 inch and zigzag in place. Pull the elastic entirely inside the casing. Sew closed the gap in your stitches. Distribute the elastic evenly within the casing, then you can top stitch the elastic in place on the inside so it doesn't twist around, top stitching in 1 or 2 of the 4 casing seams. And now the shorts and the sleep set are complete. Thank you for watching this sew along. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future sewing tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.